Hi guys, I'm Kim and today I am going to do a recap and my thoughts on the past 3 episodes of Game of Thrones Season 6. So that's episode 3, 4 and 5. Game of Thrones is just getting better and better and this season is gonna kill me. It's fantastic, I can't even deal with it right now. It's just so good and characters that like, yeah, just that's kind of it for the non-spoilery section. I can't really say much because the episodes kind of blur together and I can't really do weekly videos for this because exams. So it was going to be bi-weekly, but I missed last week because of exams and now I've got like a week until my next exam, so here we go. Episode 2 of Season 6 ended with Jon Snow being alive and waking up and we're like, thank you, it's about time. We've waited long enough for this. We need Jon Snow back. Some people are like, nah, I could have left it longer, and I'm like, no, we need Jon Snow back. We need, he's just one of the best characters and we need him back. So it's just, stop saying that it could have lasted longer, please, no. And he says that there's nothing in the afterlife, so that's kind of interesting. In a world full of magic, there's no afterlife, or he doesn't remember the afterlife. There was just nothing apparently, so, or there isn't, yeah, he just doesn't remember it and maybe the Lord of Light made him forget it all or something. Because what if, this is just off the top of my head, I don't think it's actually true, but what if the afterlife is so good the Lord of Light doesn't want Jon Snow going back there and killing himself just so he goes back there instead of coming back to the hell of Westeros to like fight and everything, and he's lost his will to fight. And Tommen's like, they think you're a god. And he's like, I'm not. And he's like, I know. he makes a reference to how small his dick is, and it's just like, okay then, that was just, I don't know what to make of that. So, then we have Bran with a 3-eyed raven. And, oh, this is the, yeah, with Ned Stark fighting Sir Arthur Day, which is the Sword of the Morning. The best swordsman there ever was, or ever seen, or whatever. And yeah, he really is good. 2 swords, 1 hand. It's like he doesn't have a dominant hand with his sword fighting. He's that good. And Bran's just like, but my father wins. How does it? That's because the other guy kind of stabs him in the back, and then Ned chops his head off. And then everyone's now questioning about his honor, but then also they're like, he's looking for his sister, which, when does his sister die? Because we're introduced to the Tower of Joy, which apparently book readers know about. I haven't read the books yet. I've got them there sitting waiting for me, but I haven't read the books yet. So yeah, how is, I know they're calling into his honor, but also he didn't, the honorable thing when he got killed, when he got executed, was to, yeah, he did it for his children. So I think when it comes to family, he's not always as honorable, which, hey, fair enough, like, not everyone is, he's human, so just, like, I don't blame him for that. And we hear a scream at the end of the scene, so was his sister alive during that fight? And because we all know his sister died, but I don't know how, or was there measures in place or orders that from the Mad King to kill her if something happened. But she's still alive at that point after the Mad King is dead. Daenerys arrives at the Dosh Khaleen and they're just getting move along, and she meets these old ladies and she does not want to be a part of it, which I can't really blame her. She's going out and she's conquering the world. She's ending slavery and she's changing the world for the better. And I guess what she thinks as well, I think. And it doesn't always work, but she's trying. Oh yeah, one of the questions I brought up last time was, who was Zombie Dude? Zombie Dude was the mountain that was brought back after he got poisoned from that fight, the trial by combat, where what's his name poisoned him. And so it's just like, oh, okay, because I didn't pick that up. I was just like, who is this zombie dude? So that's what happened to the Mountain now. He's become zombie dude. Arya, we see Arya fighting and getting better at fighting. Yes, and then they're happy enough with it. So it's Jaqen H'ghal, no one who was Jaqen H'ghal, like wears the face of it, comes in and gets her to drink from the well, which we all think is poison. And even though she's blind at this point, she's going, you can see it in her, she knows, she's like, are you trying to poison me? And Jaqen H'ghal is like, if a girl is truly no one, she has nothing to fear. So she drinks out of it and the girl gets her eyes back. The Umbers bring to Ramsay Bolton Rickon and Orsha and Shaggy Dog, and Shaggy Dog's dead. Another direwolf is dead. I'm not okay. I'm never okay with the death of direwolves. It's just, you get so attached to them and you love them, and they're already an almost extinct species. Well, they're getting closer and closer to extinction now. Critically endangered, and they're just killing them left, right and center, and I'm just, the animal lover in me is going, no, I don't want them to die. Then the episode ends with Jon hanging, as commander of the Night's Watch, Jon Snow hanging all of the commanders that stabbed him and killed him, which, hey, fair enough, like, you killed him, you disobeyed orders, you killed the Lord Commander, there's gonna be consequences. And every time I see Ollie, I freaking really hate Ollie. And then Jon hands over the Lord Commandership, is that it? Commandership? To Ed, who went and got all the wildlings to come back and help Jon, and say, yeah, Ed's now Lord Commander, because Jon's just like, nah, I've had enough of this. Which, hey, his watch has ended, he died, his officers killed him. You don't really want to still be at that place when everyone just like, yeah, go die, you traitor. Whereas he did what he thought was best, and they understand that, but they don't agree with it. That's how the episode 3 ends. So, yep. And on to episode 4. And episode 4 starts with Sansa accompanied with Brienne and Podrick going into Castle Black, and we get to see the reunion between Jon and Sansa, and it made me so happy, even though they weren't the best of like family members that got along. Their family, and Jon hasn't seen any of his family in so long, and it's just, after everyone dying, it's so good to see the two Starks together, even though Jon technically doesn't have the name of Stark. He's a Stark, just shh. And Sansa's here apologizing for being a brat, and he's like, you're not a brat, there's nothing to apologize for. And she's like, no, I was really horrible back then. Which, yeah, young Sansa, just, I did not like Sansa at the beginning, but now I really love her. Like, she's amazing, she's such a strong person, and just like family, and we need to get our home back. And she's trying to convince Jon to like, hey, let's get our home back, let's go back to Winterfell. And he just came back from the dead, remember? So he's like, I'm sick of fighting, I've killed my own watchmen, I've killed White Walkers, I've killed wildlings, I don't want to do any more killing, just leave me alone. But a letter is received later on from Ramsay Bolton saying, hey, we've got Rickon, we've killed another direwolf, leave me alone, give me back Sansa, because blah blah. And it's a really awful letter, and Jon stops reading it halfway through and Sansa finishes reading it, and it's just horrible. when Brienne arrives, Tormund, bloody fucking Tormund, he just stares at her and makes eyes at her. It's just like, oh my god. And it's just like, bro, no, you need to calm your shit down. You're creeping her out. Even in the next episode, it just continues with the staring. She is so uncomfortable by it. And especially with her past, and it's just, I can't blame her. But, like, anyone would be uncomfortable by a wildling looking at you like that. It's just like, no, I'm a knight, please, let me alone, I'm not interested. The High Sparrow lets Margaery see her brother, Sir Loras Tyrell, and she's here strong as anything. She is so smart. She's a really underestimated character, and like, as you rewatch the episodes, you see how smart and strong she is and independent, and she's got it all figured out. She sees right through the High Sparrow, and yeah, but her brother has just lost it. He just wants to die. He's getting punished for being gay, and he's losing his will to live, and she's here trying to be like, no, you can't. He sent me in here to help break you more, but no. You need to stay strong. We've got to go through this. And I think in episode 6, it's going to go down with because they want Margaery to do the Walk of Shame, which you can't do. Can't do that to the Queen. You did it to the Queen Mother and previous Queen, but you can't do that to the actual Queen. God, that would just, yeah, that would be really bad for a kingdom. How are you supposed to respect them? And you see your Queen walking naked through the streets. Like, Cersei was an awful Queen, but Margaery, I think, could be good. She can be manipulative, but I don't know whether she's a good person or not. She's helping out the peasants early on in the stage, and yeah, so I don't know how good she is per se, but she might be, and she's just incredibly smart. She's a really interesting female character. Oh yeah, and okay, so Jorah and Daario are coming to, they've been searching for Daenerys, and now they're coming to rescue her, and coming to rescue her, and as they go to get water, she's with another previous Khaleesi, and they almost kill the previous Khaleesi, who she's made friends with, but she's so nice, and she's like, no, don't kill her. You're not going to be able to get me out of here alive. Let's come up with a new plan. And her new plan, oh my god, it's so good. They've got to, before she becomes part of the Dosh Khaleen, they've got to like decide whether or not she belongs there. And she pretty much insults them all when they have this like meeting with the Khals, and like, well, she's like, yo, you should let me rule, blah blah blah, you guys aren't smart enough, what are you even doing? Then they really insult her heavily. You're not going to be part of the Dosh Khaleen, we're going to let everyone, all the men fuck you and all the horses. And it's like, you really remember her title? Like, I don't remember her title. But yeah, she's the Unburnt, Mother of Dragons, Breaker of Chains, Khaleesi, Queen of the Grass Sea, and Meereen, and like most of Slaver's Bay. Yeah, so they've got like gasoline, or not gasoline, but like fuel, oil, flammable substance on the ground all around inside the Dosh Khaleen building where they're having this meeting. And so after they insult her, saying, oh yeah, this is what's going to happen, just calmly puts her hand on this ball of fire, and I was just like, okay, are you just going to put your hand in and prove, hey, I can survive fire? No, she does better. She tips it over, and they're like, oh, and the whole thing goes up in flames and they die. And she walks out of the flame, yeah, and she's out, and like gives you memories of season 1 episode 10 of where she walks out of the fire. She was holding dragons in that one, but this one, all the Dothraki, like huge, all the clans of Dothraki just bow to her because, hey, I just killed all your Khals, and I set them on fire, and I'm walking out of the fire, I'm the Unburnt. And yeah, like, it's an amazing scene. I love that scene. I love this character, honestly. And now we can move on to episode 5. very sad. Yeah, it also, it's a bit confusing and it raises a lot of questions with things. Because we thought we were going to find out who the three-eyed raven is, but we don't because he dies. So, yeah, there's a lot of people dying in this episode as well. Which, hey, Game of Thrones, get used to it. But at least, not all the characters that died I care about as such. One of them I do. So Sansa meets with Littlefinger and pretty much blames him for everything that happened to her. He's smart enough, he would know what Ramsay was. And fucking married her to that evil little cockroach. Just, that was an awful thing. Saved her from Joffrey and all of that, and then gave her to Ramsay Bolton. Just, that, I don't know who's worse. They're both so horrible. And like, oh, just the things that she had to survive through, but she's still tough as guts and she's strong and she's, oh my gosh, she is a force to be reckoned with, Sansa. She's getting powerful and she's like, yes. And I'm just like, go girl, you can do this. And Arya, I really want, like, that, keep saying, oh, go home before it's too late. Like, the other no one that she trains with, the girl. And I kind of, I know she doesn't know any of this, but I wanted to meet up with Sansa and Jon and get all together like a family. But if she becomes no one, that's never going to happen. But I want it to happen. It would be amazing if that happened. But, like, how are they going to know that Arya's there? Like, nobody knows where Arya is. She's just dropped off the face of the earth. And the no one that plays Jaqen H'ghar, gives her an assignment to kill an actress at the theatre, and she's here she watches the play and everything, watches the actress, and the actress is quite good, but the play that she watches, oh my god, you can see it in her. At the beginning it's, oh yeah, this is funny, but as soon as it starts talking about her father and making fun of her father and her family, it struck a chord with her, and she's just incredibly hurt because she didn't actually see it, but she was there. She knows what happened, and like, this is Braavos. This is far away from King's Landing, and they're playing this out, and it's all funny to all of them. But for her, this actually, she was there when her father got beheaded, and her father and her sister, and all the things that happened to them. I don't know how much Arya knew that happened with her sister, and it makes it sound like Tyrion was lovely to Sansa, but this makes it sound as if he wasn't. And yeah, but she's saying, when she talks to Jaqen H'ghar after she's watched, and she's like, she's a good actress. Was it the younger one planning to poison her? And servants don't ask questions. So if you want to become no one, you don't ask questions. You just get your assignment and you kill the person, which I don't think is very Arya. Like, Arya. Yeah, she likes to kill bad guys. She doesn't like to just kill. She doesn't do it for just the sake of it. She likes to get rid of the bad guys, the ones that hurt people and done things to her. So Bran learns that the children made the White Walkers by stabbing, was it Dragon's Glass? He didn't, but Dragon's Glass also kills them, so maybe it wasn't Dragon's Glass. That's interesting, like, well, the thing that created the first one changed it, and was that first one the Night King? And how is there a hierarchy with the White Walkers? Because there seems to be like 4 higher ups. Like, are they all kings? Or I don't think so. I think there's like 1 king and then like a court, maybe. Like the next, maybe a prince? I don't know. I don't think they have children. They take the babies from, the babies must mature when they take the babies from that, wildlings. All the boys, they take the boys and they turn them, but what happens to, there's a lot of puzzles here that pieces haven't been put together yet, and it's just a lot of questions. What's the hierarchy with the White Walkers? They could, the 4 main ones, the 4 leader ones, with including the king, the Night King, could walk through the ring of fire, but the other White Walkers, the lower ones, the common ones, the soldier ones, I don't know what you'd call them, can't. And so they go up and they go through the holes near the base of the tree, Godswood tree. Yeah. And what's the go with and the White Walkers kill the children, which I find is like ironic. They created them to save them and then save them from humans, because all the humans are cutting down the Godswood trees, which is their home. But then it ends up killing them. How many more of the children are there? Like, I know most of the trees of the Godswood would cut down south of the wall. And like that Godswood tree that they're always near Winterfell, is it every Godswood tree has the children? Because, and we just never found out the children are just there? Or, like, how many of the trees are out there with the children? Or is that the last of them? I don't think it was the last of them. I just don't think we'll come across them again. Maybe. Oh, but no, because it looked like those exact children that created the White Walkers. So I'm curious as to how many of the children are out there still. And yet, the White Walkers, when Bran goes and wakes up and he touches the root and travels out, does he travel into the past, present, or future? I'm thinking present, maybe, but see, this is where it gets funny, like this whole time travel thing, because, and like with is it Green Seer? Green Seer, I think is what it's called. Like his body is still physically under the tree, but sometimes in his visions he can be heard or touched. So do you have a body? When do you become physical in that time? Is it the length of time you spend there, and then you become physical and then you get stuck there and you come back and you get a tree growing through you? He gets touched, and so then the Night King can find him under the tree and he's no longer safe, like the magic's no longer working. But how smart like, there must be quite a bit of intelligence there behind the White Walkers, but then again, they killed their creators, so they must just, I don't know, they must think that Bran is important in it. They must know that, and that's why they want to kill him, and they went to all that effort and killed the ones that created them. So, yeah, it's just, they keep showing, the White Walkers are an interesting thing that I want to learn more about. And then, as Dany leaves, he's riding a white horse out the front of all the Dothraki. I like that symbolism, like the flashback to season 1 where she was on the white horse with Khal Drogo. It's just like, okay, sorry, not white horse, it's a grey. On a grey, leading all the Dothraki. I'm just like, yes, go girl, you can do this. Yeah, Tyrion, Lord Varys, Grey Worm and Missandei are all talking about how are we going to keep this peace going. Because the Masters, like, they think the Masters are like the past and everything and their history. So they plan to get a Red Priestess, which is an unbiased party. Well, like, the public would think is an unbiased party, and convince her to, like, support Daenerys, which she already is. And it's a new Red Priestess, not Melisandre, but a new one whose name I don't know yet. But yeah, and Lord Varys doesn't trust them. Fair enough, like, he's wary of religion and magic because of what happened to him. I can't really blame him, like, you know what I mean? And she pretty much spews out all of her information that she knows about Lord Varys and about how he lost his parts and fed them into the fire, and the voice that was heard, and she's like, oh dear, how do you, there's a lot of light. Is a lot of light somehow connected? Like, what's that dark voice? I know they're linking it back in again. What's that dark voice that was talking to them? Oh yeah, and this Red Priestess is also wearing like that necklace that has that big controversy, that with Melisandre hiding her age. So, like, how old is this one? Or like, how much has she seen? How much does she know of the world? because she looks young. She looks younger than Melisandre, but looks can be deceiving. So, Okay, and then we go. Bran goes into the vision, and I am worried about him like getting stuck because they say he's gonna drown in these memories if he stays in them too long. So that's how like, oh yeah, don't go in by yourself, you're gonna drown. Instead he does something worse and he gets touched by a White Walker, and then they have the whole White Walker army come and attack them. Great work, Bran. Stellar. And Sansa May, at the beginning we saw her making a new dress, and it's so pretty. It's got a direwolf on the top, and I want something like that. It'd be so cool. It'd be expensive to buy and probably hard to make, but one day I might get something like that because it's so cool. And she made it by hand, and all those skills paying off for her. And I love that she can be all domestic and things, but also like, hey, I'm more than just this. I can rule, I can lead this army. And she's so smart. And she made Jon, her father, like a cloak, a wool, was it cloak kind of thing? That their father kind of had with the Stark imprinted on it, and feels, guys, all the feels. Then we have the very last scene where Summer dies protecting them, and the White Walkers all attack. Summer dies, and like, another bloody wild wolf. Really, Kim? Dire wolf dies. So now there's only Ghost and what's Arya's? I can't remember the name of Arya's one, but there's only Ghost and Arya's one. This Shaggy Dog, Summer, Lady. What was Rob's one called? They're all dead. There's only 2 out of 6 left. And the Raven, the Night King kills the Raven, so we never actually find out who the Raven is. But they're in, like, they're trying to upload he's trying to upload everything into Bran's brain. But they're here watching the Starks in the history. I don't know if it was Ned and his father or something, which makes me wonder if the Raven was a Stark or something, and he's not just there for Bran to watch, but also like a bit for him. And also we see young, what's Hodor's name? I can't remember right now. But yeah, and we learn how Hodor becomes, like, says only Hodor, and it's to do with a time paradox. And it's because Bran is stuck in this time and Hodor's there, and he's got to get control of Hodor because Hodor freaks out and he's useless when all the White Walkers stuff's happening, which you can't blame him. Like, he's been messed up in the brain because of Bran, and he can't like just switch it off and be like, I need to do this. So Bran, well, he's still in with the Raven, takes control of Hodor and gets him. So, and then at the very end, Hodor is sacrificing himself, or is Bran still controlling him? But I don't want it to be like that. And they're saying hold the door, and so back in time, Hodor is saying hold the door over and over again while he's seizing, and eventually hold the door becomes Hodor. Like, I can see how it progresses, and that's how he dies. He gets eaten by, or ripped apart by White Walkers as he's holding the door back so that Bran and what's her name can get away. Sad. Just, we finally found out why Hodor's Hodor, and now we got no more Hodor. So yeah, that was it for this video. Probably a bit long again. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts are and your theories, and if you have any answers to my questions, explain them to me. That would be great. And I'll see you guys next time. Might not be next week, it might be next week, it might not be, it might be in a few weeks' time. But I will I'll do more episodes soonish. I hope you guys have a great night, day, whatever time of the day it is for you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!